Bionanogenomics, technical analysis, fundamental statistics, along with reviewing my current positions and the price chart. Starting off with the price action, I have 4 good pieces of news for you today. If you can believe it, we did bleed today, but I've got 4 pieces of information. Number 1, we are validating this ascending level of support, forming higher highs and higher lows, which is a sign for a reversal in price action that we are now starting an uptrend. Now, of course, the last time I said that, we were wrong, but this time I think it has an even higher chance of holding, because check out this validation right here. Back when some poor souls panicked sold at 806, we formed the first validation, the perfect validation of this line. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 validations on this level. That's the first piece of good news. Second piece of good news is that let's take a look at the RSI. Okay, on the hourly, we're at 4670. Okay, on the 4 hourly, we're even lower. We're 40. So we're oversold, and we will be seeing a correction in the upwards direction sometime in the near term, probably based on the RSI. They're not always right, but usually they are. Okay. Third piece of good news is that the markets we actually have a very bullish sign for the NASDAQ, and you guys know the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average are my worst enemies. Literally, that is the one thing that has a realistic chance of screwing our stocks over any of these stocks, in my opinion. We do have 2 new positions today, and I did liquidate 1 position today, and we will be going over that as all along with my exact dollar amounts and all the plays. But guys, going back to the NASDAQ, this is the third piece of good news. This is extremely bullish. What am I seeing here? What are you seeing, Brandon? This is what we call a George W. Trades. Okay, it's a double bottom, but Trades likes to call it George W. So I will as well. We got first touch point right here, almost perfectly validated. And this is a bullish sign. This is basically here. Let me go ahead. This is really skinny W. Let me go with the 1 hourly so it's a little easier. All right, so this is essentially what the W is. Okay, going down here. Boom. There's the middle of the W. Then we go here. And then boom. And then once we break through this little point right here, it's boom. Yep. That's the upside. And the NASDAQ essentially is why, in my opinion, we have been bleeding so much. And of course, today the markets were only down. The NASDAQ was up 0.5%. The other two were bleeding a little bit, but I can't really blame Bionano's bad day. We were down 3% almost on the day. I can't really blame that on the NASDAQ right now. Okay. I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, sometimes obviously, you can have a great company, great stock. Y'all already know this. You can't go up every day. Maybe we did see a lot of resistance around this 38.2% retracement level, sitting at roughly $10.08. We weren't able to push past that. I'm a little surprised. We did get a big candle wick up here, but obviously, we've got a ton of resistance levels coming up. I mean, we are going to have a ton of resistance levels because we're oversold. We have, and the fourth piece of good news, excuse me. Sorry, I forgot the fourth piece of good news. We have a potential catalyst coming up next week. Literally next week, potential catalyst. It could be nothing, or it could be, 100%. Literally, I believe that. Okay, but probably not, right? But there's always a chance, and there's a high chance that it will result in some positive price action, in my humble opinion. So, let's take a look at some other indicators, such as the Bollinger Bands. Let's look at the 4 hourly. This is actually, I guess you could take this as a fifth piece of good news, even. The middle band here, usually when you see the price action interaction and response to these bands, typically you see if it goes, let's just use this for example, okay? When you see it hook up like this, or like go to the top or lower band, what will happen after that is that it will retrace to the middle band. Okay, let's take a look at where the middle band was. I know this is very confusing. Okay, the middle band is somewhere in here. Okay, it's like roughly right there. All right, and the price action essentially came right on it. That is basically what happens. And guys, what's happening right now? We are trading below the band. And if you're confused on how I'm getting these numbers, the Bollinger Band indicator right here, the length, the width, 21.3. That's what I have it set to. That's how I like to use it. The middle band is what we're looking for. $10.37. That is what the middle band is trading at, and currently we are trading at 984. That would be I think that would be like a 2 to 3% increase, something like that at least. So that is a lot of upside right there. So that is bullish news. Taking a look at some moving averages, guys, we do have several death crosses. Not a good sign. Okay, this is not a good news. I'm holding all my shares. I'm taking I went down today. Okay, I'm down $3,500 almost 30% in the last 5 trading days. I'm not worried though. This is why I'm not worried. Okay, that's one of the reasons I'm up 50% overall, right? Also, This is just because the market's dumping, in my opinion, why our plays are doing badly right now. But yeah, taking a look at the moving averages, obviously we do have several death crosses. Let me look at the 4-hourly right here. Okay, we do have some death crosses here, but we are seeing some support coming in from this 200-day exponential moving average on the 4-hourly. And guys, yeah, we have death crosses everywhere. Okay, I'm not going to point them out. I've done that in previous videos, but on the daily, the most important chart for moving averages, in my humble opinion, we have the two most important golden crosses, in my humble opinion. 200-day EMA is under the 15-day moving average, and the 55-day moving average is above the 200-day exponential moving average, and the gap is widening. So that represents more bullish momentum. So we have several things going for the stock, and if the markets can just stabilize next week, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of good things. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do good, if we see a little bit of a spike in the after hours as well. Man, the power hour was looking really nice there for a second. We were chilling. We were kind of, sour hour was coming in, but then we stabilized, got a huge pump, and then boom, literally I got my hopes up. I was like, oh my gosh, when you see a pump like this in power hour on a Friday, this is extremely bullish. But then obviously we saw a huge sell-off. We went from plus 1.60%, 1.70% down to basically 0.5%. Take it for what it is, guys. If the markets can stabilize, we will be seeing a lot of upside for BioNano, in my opinion. Taking a look at their Twitter, this is the catalyst that I was talking about. On March 1st through 3rd, next week, there will be a virtual conference with BioNano's CEO and CMO. This could be this could be awesome. They could say that they could reveal anything essentially at these interviews. Okay, last interview they didn't really reveal anything. I watched the whole thing. I kind of wish I didn't, but I did get two things of information that were good pieces of information, in my opinion. The first was that the CEO, I don't understand the esoteric jargon half the time. Okay, when he's talking about optical genome mapping and explaining the process, explaining like these esoteric processes, right? I'm not an expert in his field, but the first thing I got from this talk was that he really is confident and he really seems to understand and have a passion in what he is doing. That's good. That's what you want to see from a CEO. But the more important thing is that when asked about what investors and shareholders should know about BioNano Genomics, he essentially said, quote, this is just the beginning. You couldn't ask for a better statement, essentially, from a CEO, in my opinion. So that's extremely bullish. Taking a look at my current positions, this is now back. I finally am in with Mara. Okay, that did not work. Let's try that again. Boom, Mara. I am in. I finally got a small position established. I also sold out of, which was the one. Okay, I sold out CTRM. I did not mean to. This is still I'm still bullish on this short term. Don't freak out. Okay, yeah. If anything is on this list, if I've given my end of year price targets, I'm not flipping bearish on it unless something drastic happens. Which for CTRM it is not. It's just it's not exactly performing amazing. But that's not why I sold it. I sold it because SOS was in an amazingly auspicious and high probability zone today. It was down like 28%. And obviously, I took advantage of that, and I'm up 10% right now. The only reason this is not a bigger position is because it's a Chinese company, and there are a lot of more risks inherently with Chinese companies, and not even just Chinese, but with Chinese especially, but also with any foreign country essentially. I did sell a little bit of BioLace and a little bit of Microvision and a little bit of TLRY to get the buying power for Mara and SOS. Yeah, I wish I had some more buying power. That would be nice, because I would have loved to load the bow on either of these, especially Mara. I would have loaded on Mara, because you guys know how bullish I am on Bitcoin. I'm finally back in. And guys, let me tell you why this was actually such a great trade. Number one, it was oversold completely. It was down 28% at the time of me buying it. But more importantly, it was down because it was actually doing really well today. At one point, it was up like 6% today, and then it dipped 28% because some analyst that has a horrible track record announced that he shorted the stock. Guys, guess what? This analyst that shorted the stock averages a negative return. And even if he averaged a positive return, these analysts should not have this much weight in stock prices, price action, and then the price action of stocks. Okay, it's just half of these experts are no more knowledgeable and no better than us. Okay, I guarantee you, none of them. Well, okay, probably some of them, but very few of them have got a 50% return in 3.5 months or 3. Is it almost 4 months now? Okay, somewhere like that, something like that. I guarantee you, not many of them have beat that. And I know a lot of you have way better returns than I have right now. Right, I've been hit so hard. I was up at like 133% a couple days ago. Not anymore. But it's what happens, guys, and I'm holding. That's my plan. But that's what we're looking at as far as current positions. Still bullish on CTRM. I still, okay, let's go ahead and CTRM has been terminated as far as my current positions go. And I do need to add SOS in here. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Why not? Boom, 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 SOS. We are in. Do you not have my price targets up here? I could swing this. I don't know exactly what I will be doing, but I will probably be holding this long term, either straight through or swinging it, and swinging it consistently, not just swinging it for 100% and then sell out completely and then just be done. No, like rinse and repeat, take profits, buy back in lower, or I'll just hold long term. It depends. We will see. Relevant information. In regards to the title is finished now, feel free to click off, my friends, if you have more important things to do. This is where I rant and where you are at my mercy. And this is what other YouTubers do in the first 5 seconds. I do at the end because I'm that transparent and I'm that nice, essentially, and I'm that, that's what this channel is, essentially. In a nutshell, that's our business model. Our own type of Patreon and coaching. If you guys have any ideas for this, I don't think we're going to be doing a Patreon based on what I know now. We might be doing some live streams, or I might just offer the chance to donate. I'm not sure exactly, but we'll be figuring this out. Yeah, whatever we do, our business model will not change. Don't worry. Of course, it's optional. I don't want, and it's not like you need to pay me. Okay, I don't want anyone to pay me. What I do want is like an option for some people to donate if they want, because I'm obviously doing no ads, right? And this obviously, this takes me hours a day to do videos, especially when I do like 4 videos a day doing the mega technical analysis as well, right? I'm here for like 5 hours a day on my computer, right? But guys, that's not why. Okay, if y'all want to donate, you will get the chance to, maybe, but I'm ranting and that's not that important. Let's take a look at this. Flag auspicious descent. Guys, be careful in the comments. If you have a serious suggestion or something, BrandonBallsDL.com, that's where you want to go. I will make mistakes. Do not expect perfection from me, yourself, or anyone. I truly appreciate the overwhelming majority of the comments, which are extremely positive. Thank you all so much. Please do not hesitate to call me out on something if I'm missing something in the charts, fundamentals, or anywhere else. Use several brokers like Webull. If you do not use it already, you will get 2 free stocks valued a lot of money, potentially at least like $20 if you use that description link. You also will get access to pre-market and after-hours trading and access to a Roth IRA along with everything else that any broker offers you. Webull is the best broker, in my opinion, by far. Come with stocks I need to cover next as well. Follow stocks you own on Reddit and Twitter, because things like this 2 hours ago, and we also had another one 4 hours ago. So catalyst every left and right, especially for BioNano. You definitely need to be on their Twitter, checking it occasionally, seeing what's going on. My opinion, it will help you, in my opinion. Any questions, I will try to answer them. Our business model is never going to change. Never going to change. Success will never change our business model. We will never waste your time, or at least I'll try my best not to rant. Sometimes I like to rant. I know. Sometimes I like to rant in the relevant section. I try not to, though. I think I do a pretty good job usually. But I will never be asking for likes or subs or putting ads in the relevant part of the video. That is my promise to every one of you. And this BioNano to the moon. I hate saying BioNano to the moon when it's a red day. I hate it. It's so ironic, and I feel so, like I failed you guys, But guys, long term, we're going to the moon. We are going to the moon long term and short term. I think short term is in like next couple weeks, next couple months. We are going to the moon. This is not financial advice. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on the next one.